Hello participants, I welcome you to this 5 days face-to-face FDP on virtual and augmented reality. FDP is sponsored by AICT Training and Learning Academy, that is Atal Academy. So today we will see touch VRML sensor programming using Vivati Studio. Myself, Dr. Deepak Shirbhate. I am working as a principal in Vikramshila Polytechnic, Darapur, Taluka Dariyapur, District Amravati. My pin code is 444802, Maharashtra State of India. So let us talk about the design intent. The special feature or speciality of the Vivati Studio is that it captures the design intent. It means that when you open the code, VRML code in the Vivati Studio, you can come to know that how the programmer has created that code, what steps he has followed, and it becomes very easy to understand the code. So that is called as a design intent. So that design intent is in the form of a model tree, or we can call it as a design intent also. So model tree is available in the Vivati Studio. So that is the speciality. So what is design intent? Design intent is a method used in computer aided design that defines a relationship between objects so that a change to one propagates automatically to others. So if I make a change, then what will happen to other objects? That relationship is there in the design intent. Now there are two approaches. One approach is called as top-down approach, and other approach is called as bottom-up approach. Now our forefathers have created this Ajanta and Ellora caves. So they have used the top-down approach. It is said that these caves have been created. The top was created first and then they went down. So this is the picture on the left hand side is the top down approach, whereas the entry gate of our college, that is a bottom up approach. We know that the bottom has been created first and then the top was created. So in this way, in the design intent, we come to know that what steps were followed, how the design was created, how the output was created, final output was created. So that is the main purpose of knowing the design intent. Now last year actually in touch sensor we have created, using the touch sensor actually we have created one standard calculator which was capable of performing the arithmetic operation. And you can see the model tree here. The huge model tree is there. Okay, you can see that model tree. A huge model tree is there, very huge. So this model tree actually gives you the information that how this calculator was created, means what was the first step. So you can see that we have started with navigation info, then viewpoint, and then the light was created, then touch sensor was created, and then other sensors were created, several groups were created, then buttons were created, say these touch buttons were created, say the routes were created in this way. So a lot of actually information is given by this model tree, or we can call it as design intent. So what is touch sensor? Here actually we are talking about VRML touch sensor, not about the general touch sensor. What is VRML touch sensor? The touch sensor node, actually VRML is the language in which there are some 45 to 50 nodes are there. So it contains a lot of nodes, and user can define new nodes also. So what is node? Node is actually containing a specific information. So When we create a touch sensor, that is called as touch sensor node. It means that it is holding all the information about touch sensor. So the touch sensor node is a way of providing interactivity with the user. This sensor is usually defined in a group and affects all the shape within that group. So we create a group and then we apply the touch sensor. So whatever the objects are there in that group, it will get affected by this touch sensor. The touch sensor reacts when the user has the mouse over and when the user clicks a shape contained in the group. So when you actually take the cursor over the object having the touch sensor, so you will see the hand. Actually your cursor pointer will change into hand, indicating that it is having some touch sensor and you can click or you can operate the touch sensor. And when you will click, then that particular programming or the event will take place. So this is how the touch sensor operates. So in the standard calculator, we have actually employed touch sensor for all the buttons 1 to 9 and plus minus multiplication division for all the buttons equal to and clear. All the buttons have touch sensors. So you can see 100 into 2 just. So how we can perform the calculation? That is because of the touch sensor. Touch sensor is capable of taking the input. Okay. So this is how we can actually use touch sensor. This is the example of touch sensor. Now we will create one animation VRML interactive object in which there will be fan and switch. So I am importing actually that particular fan and switch. Okay, you just locate the file that you want to import. So you can import the fan and switch. Okay, so I have previously grouped these two objects. One is containing the fan assembly, other is having the switch. Now we will create a touch sensor, time sensor. We will create the animation. Okay, I want the animation should be applied to the blade group, the fan containing the blade group. So this is my time sensor. I will change the period to 0.5 second and it will be auto start. I want to animate the entire blades, all the objects in the group. Now when you animate the timeline, it will take you to the keys. Now I will change the Z axis. Oh no, the Z axis is not the proper choice. We should change the Y axis. Okay, so rotation about Y axis by 90 degrees. Then we will go to the second point and there will be 2 clicks. It means that 180 degrees. Then here there will be 3 clicks, 90, 90, 90, 270 degrees. And here there will be 4 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 360 degrees. So actually the fan will rotate and the entire cycle will complete within 0.5 seconds. So, but what happened that actually it has applied the time sensor to the entire group. So our switch is also rotating. We should take that group away from this group. So I am taking that group away and now we will see. Now you can see that the switch is steady. This white object is switch actually. Okay. This is switch. Now time sensor node. The time sensor node is a clock which generates event as the time goes by. So in time sensor actually what we are defining the cycle interval. which specifies the number of seconds that time sensor will generate event, and loop will specify if when the cycle interval is over, time sensor should be restarted. So in our case, the period is 0.5 second and loop and auto start is there. So fan is continuously rotating in a loop. So after every 0.5 second, it will complete the rotation. So that's why you will see that the fan is continuously rotating. Now these are the VRML axes, X, Y and Z. These are the default axes. So we are rotating actually about, and again it will follow the thumb rule. Okay. Now let us proceed for creating the script actually, not roots. So script, I will create a script and I will add a field to the script. 4 fields will be required. The first field will be called as turn on. Okay. The second field will be called as on only. The third field will be called as off. The fourth field will be called as turn. Okay. 4 fields are there. Then I will change this to accept boolean operation, accept bool, and access type will be input only. Click somewhere on the screen so that the changes will take effect. So whatever the parameters that I have defined, they should be stored. That's why you click on the screen on any of the quadrant, again accept bool, type will be accept bool. So yeah, the changes have been reflected, no problem. Third will be off, type will be as a bool and output only. Again click in the blank quadrant, any of the quadrant, so that the changes will take place. Again accept bool, you have to select initialize only, and that's all. So whatever the changes that we have made, those are getting reflected. It means that everything is proper. Let us check all the fields whether they are reflecting the changes or not. So they are reflecting, all the 4 fields in the script are reflecting the changes. It means that everything is quite okay. So let us move to the next step, that is creating a touch sensor. I am placing the touch sensor. The touch sensor will be applied to the fan switch. So it is enabled. So here it is actually enabled. Okay. Then I have created the roots. So roots have been created. 2 roots will be required actually. So first peak will be from touch sensor to the second will be to the script. If you want to give a particular name to this root, then sorry, touch sensor, then you can give. Here I will change some parameters. Touch sensor enable change SF bool will be the required parameter. Touch sensor is active SF bool, and you can see that the root is valid. Here it is valid now. Then second root. Now second root will be from the script to the time sensor. Second will be time sensor. And again the root is valid. Just change the field. Okay, so now we will go for the final output, and this will be the final output. So as you will click on the switch, this is the expected output. So as you will click on the switch, you will get, the fan will get started, and the second click will stop it. So this is the required output. So that is the end of our today's presentation. You can practice this code. I am uploading this code in the comment. And if you have any questions, you can send me on my WhatsApp number that is given at the start of the presentation, or you can mail me. And thank you for your attention. Thank you.